we have decided that we'll be setting up a fund of about 800-900 crore from contributions from commercial banks. And they will be the owner, equity holders of that fund. And the money would be only used for equity investment in promising startup companies. Regarding the startup things is that this is one area, I think Bangladesh Bank, since I joined the Bangladesh Bank, we have been thinking about how to extend our support to this group of innovative minds so that they can flourish. We need to create that environment. We need to make Bangladesh attractive for them to innovate, not to leave the country, not to keep their earnings outside, bring it home, grow it at home, and so on. So we had a very good session at BIDA a couple of months ago. And following up on that, we have decided that we'll be setting up a fund of about 800-900 crore from contributions from commercial banks, basically. And they will be the owner, equity holders of that fund. And the money would be only used for equity investment in promising startup companies. So that's one. I wished it was already in place, but because of two things, I was outside the country to London for more than a week, and then the Eid holidays and all that. So we lost about a month. So it should be ready within a week or so. We should be able to issue that circular.
I think I would like to interrupt you. I think it should be ready in a month or so. A big round of applause for that, please.
Thank you. We are also going to contribute, I don't know the exact amount, maybe for 500 crore or something like that, to add to that as co-financing for on-lending. So that there will be an equity component, there will be lending component as well, which whoever wish to access the lending component as complementary to that. So this is the starting point for the startups. This is not the end point. We want to grow this fund along with the growth of the startup sector itself. So our commitment is there. Secondly, we are also trying to, startup is not by just take and so on. It is, we believe in financial inclusion in general. Everybody has the right to be included in the financial sector as we develop. But Bangladesh is still lagging in terms of financial inclusion. So we have undertaken a massive study on where the funds are going, Upojela by Upojela, since 1972, with support from IGC, International Growth Center. The Bangladesh Bank has taken that initiative. The results will be out very soon. We will know exactly how to target the underprivileged locations and go after those communities to serve them better. Because those kind of spatial mapping, that means geographical location-based distribution of lending, we didn't have that data. We weren't going to get that. We can also link it with that startup things, because we don't want, with the spread of internet and the communications as they are now, there is no need that our innovators and our participants in the global outsourcing business should be in Dhaka or should be in Chittagong and so on. They could be anywhere in Bangladesh, any corner of Bangladesh. Our financial sector needs to reach out to them. Our technology needs to reach out to them. Our affordability of technology must be commensurate with their income so that they can afford it. So all those things must go hand in hand to make this industry successful. We hope we're going to remain open to suggestions from the startup community. The community must vent out their demands, frustrations as well. So the policymakers can hear it and react to it in appropriate time. We are open for your suggestions, and our department will always be, from Bangladesh Bank side, we would like to accommodate your concerns as fast and as appropriate. There is an issue of capital account mobility between third world countries and the first world countries. The distinction between the high income countries is that for the most part, their capital accounts are liberalized. Things can move easily and they get the benefit of that movement. Unfortunately, less developed countries like Bangladesh, we cannot liberalize our capital account fully. That's a fact of life. That's something that we have to live with. But that being said, we have to start somewhere. It doesn't mean that we are condemned in that way to stay forever. As our economy grows, as our trade relationships grows, we have to think about our investment relationship as well. The global economy is more and more driven not by trade, but by investment. The underlying investment is what drives the trade. So trade is a manifestation of the underlying investments that has already happened. So we need to be cognizant of that fact, that Bangladesh investment regime cannot be solely based on Bangladesh territorial limitations.
ওয়ালটন আবারও মিলিনিয়ার অফারে ওয়ালটন ফ্রিজ কিনে আপনিও হয়ে যেতে পারেন মিলিয়নিয়ার।
We have to send our flagships as well as our flag carriers, whoever they may be startup, to take our Bangladeshi flag and post it in Dubai or in Singapore or in any other place that is worth of mentioning. So we feel that we need to open up. Of course, we cannot do it in one go. We have to do it in phases. So this is one modest step, I would say, where a generalized provision has been given, not the case by case, which is normally the case in Bangladesh. It's a generalized, this is the first generalized provision. Let me tell you one thing. In Bangladesh, there was a regulation that anybody who wants to send money, royalties, dividends, this, that, they have to come for approval in Bangladesh Bank. Since I joined, I removed that clause. I said, Bangladesh government has already committed that investors, foreign investors investing in Bangladesh can take their money as and when they want to do it. There is no restriction whatsoever. Why should they require approval from Bangladesh Bank in that case? That is superficial. We have a policy already in place. So our banking system, our commercial banks, AD branches, there are authorized dealers, they can follow those regulations and approve the transactions. So even big companies like Chevron and others, they were not aware of those things. They came and say, well, we are not getting, there is no restriction. You go and ask for give your taka amount and you take your dollar out because you are a foreign investor. The policy is there. Our banks will honor and disburse the fund in line with the policy. Why should Bangladesh Bank be approving the same policy case by case, again and again and again? That is superficial. We will make an oversight role if the banks are doing their job properly, if there is any irregularities in that, if there is any money laundering in that case. So we will look into those aspects of that, but not the flow or movement of capital, return on capital, and so on and so forth. So this is a part of the broader strategy to liberalize our economy, to liberalize the investment regime, to build confidence for our residents as well as for foreigners that Bangladesh is open not only for trade, but for investment and the return on investments and all those things that follows from that. To put it in one sentence, I would like to see several more unicorns like bKash in the coming years. You see, what we can see from bKash experience is that we can do it. We have done it. So many of you can also achieve the same objectives. What are the ways to do it? The ways to do it is basically, I would say, emphasize, stay on the legal regulatory line. That means be transparent, work on the goals, not on the return immediately. For example, when I was sitting as the chair of the BRAC Bank, we had to take a very hard look at bKash. That why this company is expanding very fast, but still we had to put about 70, 80 crore taka every year as a loss. What is the end to it? The message is that the findings that we got from our review by Boston Consultancy, which we funded from the bank, not bKash funded. We got the approval from Bangladesh Bank at that time, and we funded it. We spent more than $1 million on that consulting activity to determine that for startups, profit doesn't come in one day. You have to be patient, you have to persevere, you have to keep growing in your sales and other objectives. Money will come down the line. That's the experience with all the companies in US as well as particularly the startups which are now $1 trillion company. They had to wait 12 years, 13 years. You may have to wait longer. And that's where the venture capital comes in. That's where the investors have to come in. Investors also have to have faith and confidence in your operation. It is up to you to give that confidence. As much as bKash gave the confidence to us, the BRAC Bank, which I was chairing at that time, that this investment is worthwhile. We have to put more money for a few more years, and then eventually it will become profitable. And it has become. It has become for the last 1.5 years now. They're giving, and their profit is now, I would say, we are expecting skyrocketing of profitability. So, thing is that you have to be patient and persevere. Investors have to be patient and persevere, have the confidence on the innovators, on the project, and results will come. Of course, I'm the father of one of those startup companies. My son had set up one startup in US, which he had, the three friends, they successfully navigated and they sold it out. They made some cash out of it. And what was my lesson to him? When he came and said that I want to do this startup, I said, okay, I can give you two advice. If you don't want to go to Cambridge, you are going for a startup, that's fine, but please be aware, 95% of the startups may not succeed. We have to have that statistics in mind. But still, we have to persevere with that. So, my I really hope that our startup community, our younger people, will not give up, even if they fail once or twice. They must continue with their effort. Success will come. And I look forward to the date when we have at least 10 bKash type unicorns coming out of Bangladesh.